Welcome back to the Tide Gear Hanger. This is Mike. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. Today I want to talk to you about Seekers. I'm more Seekered out than ever, and I gotta say that I'm happy with the Seekers that I have. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I'm starting to think that there's a lot of people out there that are not Seekered out, that are still looking for their correct Seeker. And seeing as how we just came off the Coneheads, we've got all these exclusives popping up here and there. I want to talk about Seekers today, and although I'm Seekered out, I want to hear about your experience. And are you still looking for Seekers? Are you still collecting Seekers? Are you playing the swap out game? Or are you waiting for something else? Because I'm really curious what everybody's thinking about out there. But let's get into talking about Seekers coming up. Okay, so I'm going to start out talking about Make Toys, then we're going to talk a little bit about Zeta, then a Takara, and then Deformation Space. And then I'm going to do some comparisons. I do want to show this. I kind of messed up in my news and had the wrong picture in the wrong place. So I didn't have this when I was talking about it, and I cut it out. So this is the TFcon Exclusive, and this is a Make Toys Seeker Sonic Jet Convention Exclusive. You can get this at TF Source right now for $160. They say it's limited to 300 produced. That's not very many, if that's really true. I'm just giving everyone a heads up if you're interested in this. This video is not really about Coneheads so much. It's more about the Seekers. But there will be some Coneheads for comparison and some other things. Speaking of comparison, we haven't quite got into the Starscream for Takara. We will in a bit. But I want to show Make Toys. Make Toys was the leading Seeker for a long time. Very sought after, and when they did the first two runs, they sold completely out, and then people were paying stupid money on the secondary market for them, and now they're pretty much all available right now. So looking at them side by side, what they did was go more cartoon than what was on the market for the MP11 and some of the other items that are out there. But then, as you can see, Takara went even more toon direction. Looking at these, my biggest issue with the Make Toys is the lower legs. And I do feel like the lower legs were set up to accommodate the Coneheads better than the Seeker mold. But overall, though, I did rock Make Toys for a good 2 solid years, thinking it was the best Seeker on the market because it was. And it still sort of holds its own due to the shiny presentation, whether it's paint or whether it's just plastic with a sheen. Now, I don't have either of the other iterations. I don't have their Skywarp or Thundercracker. We'll take a look at those, though. But I imagine they have the same sheen. They have a nice shininess to them and look good, kind of like the Starscream did. And with that, I think they make a great-looking set. And I know a lot of people that are just sticking with this set, and other people that we're looking forward to them coming out, especially now that you can find them pretty cheap. They're, I think you can find them for $100 at places. So it's pretty cool that you can have a set of Seekers that does look pretty good, that was the reigning king for years, for $100 a figure. Not bad in the masterpiece realm, considering you pay $100 for mini bots nowadays. So this is the Thundercracker, and so it looks pretty good. Now we're gonna see some Ion Swarm. I think is the one that matches this color scheme, sort of, but not really, not exactly. But Thundercracker does look pretty good. And with that, yeah, they're all the same mold, just the slightly different colors, kind of like they did with G1. But I'm going to roll into the Ion Swarm just so we can see this. So they do a lot of convention exclusives. So this one, this Ion Swarm here is slightly different than what we got with their Thundercracker, a different blue in both directions, different blues. And looks pretty cool if that's something you're interested in. Now, I think that some of these have come and gone. Some of these are still in stock, and some places show them as coming soon. I think the ones that have shown up have mostly sold out, except for what we're going to see with the Sunstorm. So Sunstorm's still in stock at Show Z, but says coming soon at TF Source. So I really don't know what's going on with all this, but on sale for $130 at Show Z if you're interested in this guy. So I did get rid of my original Takara Sunstorm back when I was Seekered out originally, and I knew that there was going to be a big shift or upset or change in the Seekers coming, and so I dumped them back then. Oddly enough, had I held on to them, I still could have sold those older ones more than I sold for back then, but I was just happy to clear up space and get ready to accept a whole bunch of new Seekers in my life. But getting on with this one here, purple one. I've never had a purple one. I'm not sure if this one actually was released. It says Sky Clone, so Ion Sky Clone. This was also called the hot link one. So anyway, it's a purple one, looks pretty cool. You'd think that as much as I like purple, I'd be in on this, but I wasn't. And I think there was some controversy surrounding like maybe a pre-order on this that never went through, and Make Toys had some troubles, but now Make Toys getting back on their feet, and I like that. This is Acid Swarm for Acid Storm, and the green looks really good. Again, I had the MP11 mold of this, and I thought it was still pretty cool looking. For whatever reason, I thought the MP11 one had some like camouflage to it too, but maybe it didn't. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it because I got rid of mine years ago. But yeah, if you're into this, now that's one of the things right now, currently as the newer era, these are the only way you can get these recolors or these exclusives from Make Toys or Make Toys, if that's something you're interested in. Now getting into Zeta and what they've done. Now Zeta basically took the Toy World mold that they had rights to, technically, and the cone heads turned them cone heads into just standard Seekers, and of course there had to be some stuff redone to it, but I think they're very interesting looking molds. They're much bigger than average, and there was a joke about Toy World just does their own scale and it's scaled up, and that did attract me to their cone heads originally because bigger is better in my opinion a lot of times. But nowadays with so many different figures coming out, I kind of appreciate scale, but I still think cone heads being taller can be okay. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few of these other ones here. So here we go with the Zeta version, the Sky Grill, and their version of the Sky Warp, and I think it looks pretty good overall. And so with that, you've got to kind of think what's it going to look like when it scales together. I will be showing scale pictures at the end where I kind of have some scale pictures so you get a better idea, and that's going to be very helpful for people. Here is another good picture of their Starscream, which I think that looks okay. I don't really know that many people that picked this one up, and it's still, I think, in stock at most places, which is kind of a strange sign that it's maybe not that sought after. I stand corrected. It looks like they're selling out at places, so maybe they were sought after. They were marked down from $89 to $69 on this Thundercracker, and this Thundercracker sold out. So Thunder Maker. So yeah, man, I'm guessing that the Seekers are definitely profitable and sought after. People want them, and even the Zeta ones, they like them. I'm thinking people like the Zeta ones because they're so tall, because they're so big, or was it just because they're so cheap? All right, let's enter into the Takara mix here, and Starscream come out. Now, here's the weird thing. First off, it looked really good. Coming out at the same time, like within months of Deformation Space. Deformation Space beat them to market too. I want to point out that everyone thought that they were being knocked off before they got released, and because Deformation Space looks good, and these look good. Now, the downside of these, the thighs look real thin, and they are a bit short. A little short for a Stormtrooper, but I still think they look fantastic. They look fantastic. If you get the coronation set and the throne and all that, I mean, it's just, it blows my mind how good they look. They are a little darker, a little more charcoal gray. So this one here, I kind of like a brighter kind of a color or hue or tint to Starscream, not that gray that they went with, but I still like it. I got the official original one, and then there's a whole bunch of KOs out there. I should have got a Starscream KO to compare the Starscream KO, and I didn't, but I went ahead and rolled into the KOs, into the Thundercracker and the Skywarp, so mine are KOs on that one. But I still think that they are very similar to the Takara. Takara did a good job with all of them. One thing I noticed with the KO market, though, they wait for Takara to put theirs out so they can match all of the coloration to them. I also think Takara picks and chooses what they allow to be KO'd, so that's something that I think is going on. Anyway, this looks really good, looks pretty good, great team, great looking team overall, and then you got the alt mode there, and clean alt mode. I didn't really get pictures of all the alt modes for all of them. They're a little harder to get than, surprisingly, just looking at standard sites like TF Source and Shozy, not having hosting that for all of the different companies there. Here is the Skywarp. Nope. Yep, Skywarp. That looks good too. And so I got all these. I like them. And really, side by side, I think I kind of like the colors, the choice of colors that Takara used also over even the Deformation Space, because I think the deeper purple, and it's not really looking as deep purple in this picture, but side by side, the deeper purple looks a little bit better on the Takara, in my opinion. And the KO matches the Takara almost exactly, so And there's the all mode on that bad boy, looking pretty good. So with that, I know Takara did a pretty good job, and but I'm still one that thinks that deformation space is the best design, and here it is. So looking at it overall, I just feel like this captures the cartoon aesthetic the best. And just looking at the lower legs, just clean. The thighs feel perfectly proportional, and the transformation's a bear, but it's not impossible. It's just, there's a couple of places where you kind of do like multi-folding at the same time, and with that, sometimes folding stuff past something is a little bit hard, but that's really the only problems. I didn't break anything on mine. I did kind of feel like I might have. Like, if I pressed any harder, I could break it, and then it went, and it didn't break. But there are, the transformation, it's duly noted that it is a challenge, and it's not smooth, fun, and easy at all. I think Takara's are much easier and less chance of breaking on the Takara transformation, so I'll give them that, definitely. But I like the way these look the most. Getting into the thundercracker of it, and that picture's not looking so good, so we will move to a better picture. I'll have the better picture in editing. So, Thundercracker and Skywarp, and they do look good also. Now, I'm going to get into the negative of this, and that's also a positive for some people. I don't like the flat matte paint they used, even though they look fantastic. They look phenomenal. I would have bought another set if they would have put them out with a shiny sheen on them. Now, whether or not the plastic was just shiny, or they painted it with shiny paint, or whatever, I would probably prefer just a shiny plastic. Even like what Make Toys does is kind of I think a shiny plastic with kind of a clear coat on it to give it that shine. But it does look good with the way Make Toys does it. This flat, I think they look fantastic on the shelf. But I think they'd look even better if there was some shininess to them. They don't have to be like a metallic paint. They just have a little shine, just a little reflectiveness to it. Would have been nice, but still, I think they look fantastic. In my mind, they're the best ones out there. So let's get into some comparisons. So getting into comparisons here, looking at deformation space is a bit taller than what in the middle is a Make Toys Conehead, and then on the right is Takara. Also, you can see kind of like, and then this picture doesn't really show it that well either, but this is a snapshot from my video review, and the purple is just deeper. It's a deeper purple coming from Takara on the right than the deformation space on the left. I prefer that, definitely. I definitely do prefer that, so... and then we can get into looking at this here. Now, these are cone heads. It's all just cone heads, but these are ones I still have like quick access to snap a picture out of. I got to go deeper into files, older files, to snap those pictures. I can still get them, but it takes a long time. This is showing on the left is Toy World, which is the same thing as Zeta. So if you're looking to get the Zeta Seekers, that's how much taller that they probably are than the rest of them. I don't have their Seekers, but if they're using the same mold and they just changed out the head, they are considerably taller than everything else going on out there. The middle is Make Toys, and the right is the first Takara, based off the MP11 mold. So this hopefully gives you an idea of scale and getting an idea of these Seekers and what's going on out there and what you're interested in. Although I think Make Toys are great. They're fine. They look good. Every one of these has their minor issues, and including Make Toys, including the Takara, and including the deformation space with the paint. But I want to say this, the Make Toys ones are pretty easy to get. The Takara ones, the official ones, are pretty expensive. And it looks like most of all of the KOs of all these have been sold out at places. So with that, tracking down the KO of Takara is now harder to do than before. I don't know if they're going to do another run, put more of them out. But with that, I still suggest deformation space. You can still go on eBay and get some deformation space stuff for a decent price. You can find the deformation space figures between $125 and $150 on eBay right now, but I actually wish somebody would get a hold of that mold, or the people that still own it. I mean, we know they just got a slap on the wrist. They're not shut down forever, and come back out with it, call it a different name, give them a shiny paint job. That would be fantastic also. But all the other places seem to be sold out of it, seem that they marked them down and sold out and all of that. So I'm curious though, what do you guys think? Are you Seekered out like me? Are you still interested in getting more Seekers? Are you one of those that's still trying to build your Seeker collection? And if so, did you find this video helpful at all? Or are you still undecided on what Seekers to go with? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Takara Hanger out.